Hi, I'm Van C. No Razorback fan, and it being the off season and everything, no baseball, no football, I decided I need to do something to keep myself busy. So what I did is I ordered a 3-string cigar box guitar kit from CB Gitty. Okay, here she is right here. Now, this kit was very interesting because I learned some very valuable lessons, which you watch the video that follows, you kind of see some of these lessons I learned. Every time you build one of these things, you learn something you didn't know. So what I want you to do, watch this video, and at the end, I'll let you see how this baby sounds. So keep watching.
Hi, I'm Rosie. This particular project required the services of a nurse. Here is an overview of the 3-string fretted cigar box guitar kit from CB Gitty. Painter tape was placed on the cigar box. Measurements were taken and marked for the cutouts. Cutouts were done with a Dremel tool. I don't recommend doing this. Did not go well. You may find the next scene somewhat graphic. Marks were made using a ruler and a pencil for the neck notch. A Dremel tool was used. Not recommended. Once again quite graphic. A circular sander was used to smooth out the notch. Emergency surgery was performed. Pieces of balsa wood were cut to fill in some of the gaps and cuts created by the Dremel tool. The fretboard was covered with painter tape and sanded down with a circular sander. No Dremel tool was used. The neck and box were treated with 3 coats of gunstock wood stain to cover up some of the damage. It didn't work too well. The neck and cigar box were treated with 6 coats of true oil finish. The sound holes were drilled using a 3/8-inch drill bit. A hole was drilled for the output jack using a 10mm drill bit and unfortunately a Dremel tool. Decals were cut out and applied to the cigar box and neck in order to cover up some of the damage, relicing. The decals were sprayed with 3 coats of Mod Podge so that they wouldn't fall off the guitar if they got wet. The grommets were glued into place with a hot glue gun. The output jack was installed. The piezo pickup was hot glued to the box top. The tuner bushings were tapped in with a brass hammer. The tuners were installed with 2 retaining screws for each tuner. The holes were made with a 1/16-inch drill bit. The brass ferrules were tapped in with a brass hammer on both sides of the guitar tail section. The electronics were tested with an amplifier and a screwdriver. A good idea to do this before sealing up the cigar box. A 1/16-inch drill bit was used to make holes and 8 box corners were screwed into place. Holes were drilled and strap locks were installed. These did not come with a kit. The cigar box was glued shut using wood glue. It was clamped overnight. The cigar box guitar was strung and set up with a God G tuning. The bridge was notched and placed 25 inches from the 0th fret. This is how the finished guitar looks. Notice the customized relicing. Note to self, don't use a Dremel tool for cutting on cigar box guitars.
I've tuned her up. Now let me show you how she sounds. First of all, we'll do it without any amplification. Then I'll show you what it sounds like with amplification. Here we go. That's without amplification. Let's hit the amplifier and see what happens. Sounds a little bit louder, but what I want to do is let me set up a preamp and see if we can improve the sound a little bit. So hang in there for a moment and let's try this again. What I've done is I've hooked this cigar box guitar up to my CB Gitty preamp that I built, and then I'm running that to the amplifier. So with this preamp, you can kind of improve the tone of the guitar. Because with a piezo, there are no volume controls on a piezo, so you kind of take what you get. But with a preamp, you can change that. So let's go with this and see what we've got. So with the preamp, sounds a little bit better. You watched the video, so was it a success or a failure? I will say, in this particular video, I learned a lot about respecting a Dremel tool. A Dremel tool can do a lot of damage in the wrong hands. Please hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.